Every year, on June 4th, the world pauses to remember the children whose lives have been forever changed by violence and conflict. This is a day that transcends borders, languages, and cultures, uniting people everywhere in a shared moment of reflection and sorrow. We remember the empty playgrounds, the toys left behind in haste, and the classrooms that have fallen silent. These images are stark reminders of the innocence lost and the future stolen from so many young lives. The International Day of Innocent Children. Victims of aggression is a solemn reminder of the pain endured by the youngest and most vulnerable among us. Each child's face tells a story of heartbreak, but also of courage and hope in the face of unimaginable adversity. It's not a day for celebration, but for deep reflection, a time to honor the memories of those lost and to acknowledge the suffering that continues. Around the world, children lose their homes, families, and dreams to war. They are forced to leave behind everything they know, embarking on uncertain journeys in search of safety and peace. June 4th asks us to see beyond statistics, to recognize each child's story and right to peace. Behind every number is a name, a family, a dream interrupted but not forgotten. It's a call to action. What can we do to protect these innocent lives? We are reminded that our voices, our compassion, and our actions matter. We must demand that leaders put children's safety first, and that communities everywhere stand up for the rights of the youngest among us. Advocacy, policy change, and humanitarian aid are all crucial steps in this fight. This day renews our promise to fight for a world where no child suffers the horrors of war. It is a commitment to building a future where every child can play, learn, and grow without fear. We remember those injured, orphaned, or forced to flee. Their journeys are marked by loss, but also by remarkable strength and resilience. Their resilience inspires us, even in the darkest times. These children show us the power of hope and the human spirit's ability to endure. June 4th is a tribute to their strength, a day to honor their courage, and to reaffirm our responsibility to protect and uplift them. It's our promise, they are not forgotten. Their stories live on in our hearts and in our actions. On June 4th and every day, we will work for a world worthy of their hope, a world where every child can live in peace, safety, and dignity. The United Nations officially recognizes June 4th as the International Day of Innocent Children Victims of Aggression, a day that stands as a solemn reminder of the suffering endured by children caught in the crossfire of conflict. This recognition is not just a symbolic gesture, it is a call to action for the entire world. By marking this day, the UN makes a global commitment, uniting nations, communities, and individuals in the shared responsibility to protect the most vulnerable among us, our children. When the UN declares an international day, it sends a powerful message. Safeguarding children in times of war and unrest is not just the duty of a few, but a collective obligation for all humanity. It urges every nation to reflect on its role in ensuring children's safety and dignity. This day elevates the issue to the highest levels of international attention, demanding concrete action and accountability from leaders worldwide. It is a moment to renew promises and inspire new commitments. The United Nations was created to address challenges that no single country can solve alone. Among its most urgent missions is the protection of children from the horrors of war, displacement, and violence, an issue that transcends borders and politics. June 4th empowers advocates, giving them a global platform to speak out, and it holds governments accountable for the promises they have made to keep children safe from harm. The Convention on the Rights of the Child, adopted by nearly every nation, guarantees every child's right to life, to safety, and to protection from violence, abuse, and neglect. These are not just ideals, they are legal obligations. When a child is harmed by aggression, whether through war, displacement, or exploitation, these fundamental rights are violated and the world is called to respond. This day serves as a powerful reminder to nations of the solemn promises they have made to protect, to nurture, and to defend the rights of every child, everywhere. The UN's pledge transforms collective grief and outrage into a global movement for change, inspiring people to take action and demand justice for children who have suffered. It ensures that the stories and voices of children affected by conflict remain at the forefront of the world's agenda, reminding us that behind every statistic is a child with hopes and dreams. June 4th is more than a date. It is a symbol of hope, a call for compassion, and a reminder of our shared duty to build a safer, kinder world for the next generation. We must turn this promise into reality for every child, everywhere, so that no child's future is lost to violence, and every child can grow up in peace and dignity. This day was born from tragedy. This day was born from tragedy. This day was born from tragedy. In 1982, during the Lebanon War, the UN General Assembly was shocked by the suffering of Palestinian and Lebanese children. The world could not ignore their pain. The Assembly created June 4th to honor these young victims and condemn the violence. Originally, the day focused on children affected by Israel's actions in Lebanon. But soon, it became clear that children everywhere suffer in war. The pain of a child in Lebanon is the same as that of a child in any conflict. The day's meaning expanded to include all innocent children harmed by aggression. From a single tragedy, a global day of conscience was born. Now it stands for every child caught in the crossfire of adult conflicts. June 4th's journey from a specific memorial to a global day of advocacy shows our growing awareness. What began as a response to Lebanon's tragedy became a symbol for children everywhere suffering in war. Human rights groups and activists used this day to spotlight conflicts often ignored. They shared stories and data, changing the global conversation. The UN broadened the day's scope, creating mechanisms to monitor violations against children worldwide. Today, June 4th speaks for every child in danger, regardless of nationality or conflict. Its origin gives it power, but its expanded meaning gives it universal relevance. It reminds us, injustice to a child anywhere is injustice everywhere. We are united in the cause to protect all children. The story that began in Lebanon now calls for global action. Our mission: protect every child, everywhere. Speaking up for innocent children is not just important, it's essential for building a better future. June 4th, the International Day of Innocent Children. Victims of aggression gives us a powerful reason to pause and reflect on the lives of children affected by conflict and violence around the world. On this day, we are reminded that every child deserves to grow up in safety, with hope and dignity. Its first and most crucial role is to raise awareness. Many people don't realize the daily dangers children face in conflict zones. From bombings to forced displacement, these children endure unimaginable hardships that most of us can barely comprehend. This day breaks the silence, forcing us to confront harsh realities that are often hidden from the headlines. It compels us to listen to the stories of children who have lost their homes, families, and sense of security. It's also a step toward peace and justice, honoring not only the memory of lost children but also the resilience of survivors. By coming together, we show that their suffering has not gone unnoticed. Remembering their suffering is where healing and justice begin. It is a call to action for communities, leaders and individuals everywhere to support those who have been affected. Children's rights, like education, health, and protection, are violated most in times of war. Schools are destroyed, healthcare is disrupted, and children are left vulnerable to exploitation and abuse. Observing this day reaffirms our commitment to these rights. It reminds us that every child, no matter where they are born, deserves the chance to learn, grow, and thrive. It pressures governments and armed groups to respect and protect children, demanding accountability for those who violate their rights. June 4th also drives policy change, creating momentum for stronger laws and better aid. It encourages leaders to prioritize children's safety in their decisions. It encourages funding for humanitarian work, supports programs that help children recover, and strengthens bans on child soldier recruitment. This day is not just about memory, it's about action. It's about coming together as a global community to make a real difference in children's lives. It pushes us toward a world where children are truly protected, where their laughter and dreams are not silenced by violence. Our commitment must be ongoing, because every child's life matters, and together we can help build a safer, more compassionate world for them all. The world is not standing still. Many are working daily to help children in conflict. Groups like UNICEF and Save the Children provide food, water, medicine, and safe spaces. Temporary schools and refugee camps help children keep learning. These efforts are lifelines for millions. The UN monitors violations and publishes reports to pressure those responsible. This can lead to action plans and dialogue with armed groups. Legal justice is growing. International courts can prosecute crimes against children. Each case sends a message. Harming children is a grave crime, but the challenge is immense. Aid is underfunded, justice is slow, and millions still suffer. Despite heroic efforts, much more is needed. We must recognize the scale of the problem. Our promise to protect children demands even greater action. Looking ahead, we dream of a safer world for every child. We hope for stronger laws that are truly enforced. Treaties banning landmines and attacks on schools must be respected everywhere. Our vision includes better mental health support for children scarred by war. Every child should have access to psychological care and support. Peace education is key. Teaching empathy and human rights can prevent future conflicts. If we raise a generation that values peace, they will build it. Justice must be real. No one who harms a child should escape accountability. Justice is also about truth, healing, and giving victims a voice. Communities must be able to heal and rebuild fairly. Our hope, justice, and peace for every child victim of aggression. The future must be one where children are safe, heard, and free. Building a world where every child is safe from aggression is a shared journey. International collaboration is essential. No one can do it alone. Governments, the UN, and civil society must work together, sharing information and coordinating aid. Prevention is crucial, addressing poverty, inequality, and injustice before conflict erupts. Education is our most powerful tool, both in conflict zones and peaceful countries. Teaching empathy and global citizenship builds support for peace. An informed public is a force for change. The path forward is paved with our collective will. Every action, raising our voices, supporting aid, voting for peace, matters. The journey is hard, but not impossible. Every step brings us closer to a world where children's laughter is never silenced by war. We've explored the history and importance of this day. Now, it's about our duty. Protecting children is everyone's responsibility, not just governments or organizations. Every child's right to safety and a future is a sacred trust. We are the guardians of their dreams. Use your voice, speak out, write to leaders, share stories, and talk about why this matters. Support those on the front lines. Even small donations make a difference. Demand more from leaders. Prioritize children in all decisions, end arms sales that fuel conflict, and increase aid. Hold governments accountable for their promises. Let's make a promise. On June 4th and every day, remember and act for innocent children. Let's build a world where no child hides from bombs or is forced to fight. This is our shared duty and solemn promise. Let's create a world worthy of their hope. Let's build a world of peace.